What is up, everybody? You know what it is. Are You the One after show? So, Remy and Paige are confirmed a no match. We have all the sads. Carrie gets everyone in line, and the house has to learn to communicate through IKEA. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yes.
So I have to say
just like
that, you know, I was looking forward to come back because I missed my girls.
Yeah, thank
right?
God. Wish you were here last week to save the house.
I know. But, you know, y'all held it down and, caused a stir with another show.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was, you know, Sinse was supposed to be on my side, but, you know, my boy Nino can't make it tonight.
Yeah.
But he will be, for all of you that watch X on the Beach, he will be on the X on the Beach after show. So we'll be fully staffed. But right now, you know what it is. It's your boy, Lim Gonzalez. I'm over here holding it down on the right-hand side, but to my left are my favorite ladies of AfterBuzz.
Yes.
Right over here is my girl, and she never plays, Sinse in the building.
Honey, and I was trying not to play last week, and you guys, I'm so sorry, I look so sick. I was so sick, and so I'm over here trying to give you guys a little bit more spice this week, you know. I'm getting all the way better, so, you know, it's only in time.
Exactly, it's happening.
So I'm back.
And our messy correspondent, Messy Melody, is in the building.
Hey, I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in last week. It's a lot of work sitting in that seat, so shout out to you.
It really is.
You know,
you hold it together.
I try, and among other things. But you know, it's not about me, because it is guest time. It's guest time. It's guest time. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for these two.
Yes.
Okay.
I wish they were with us in the studio, but you know the second best thing is having them in the land of Skype. Remy and Paige are with us, aka Raige. Give it up!
Hey guys.
Rage. Yo. Oh yeah, it's going down. It's going down. Yeah, so we're all in our feelings because really, when your story started to take off, and I'm sure not only us, but all of America was like, yo, if no one else is a perfect match, this needs to be a perfect match.
Well, I was on the little fence, okay, guys? I mean, because I was like, I want Remy to find love.
Right.
But Paige was just not with it all the way.
She had her reservations.
But this episode, you know, I did get a little choked up.
Thank you.
Okay, this episode I did. The whole time I was like, you know, maybe she just really ain't about it. But really, you just was trying to put that wall down, girl, because that wall was up real high. Because I was over here like, no, she ain't with it.
No, she wasn't with it for a second. But yeah, let's talk about it. So tell me kind of how, because I mean, obviously, and we say this all the time to our viewers, the show is heavily edited. So sometimes if they don't realize that, right? So can you just take us back when you really started this love connection and how this kind of blossomed?
Let's start though. Yeah.
Day one.
What's up? Day one?
Day one. I was working out on the little box they gave us, and Remy came out and was like, wow, look, my baby's mother, hello, the love of my life.
Oh, wow.
And it began.
Yeah, because to be honest, like, I mean, everybody back home, when they saw, like, the cast or whatever, they were like, oh, Paige, like, that's who you went for, that's who you're, like, that's it, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to be, like, one of those people who went in the house, like in other seasons, like immediately fell for the person that they would fall for outside of the house. I was like, obviously this person is not my match, like, but like, I need to like, you know, stay away, keep my distance. And then, you know, the first time I had an opportunity to take her on a date, I was like, let's just see real quick, you know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, I'm definitely gonna fall for this girl. I need to stay away after that.
Really?
And I tried, and then you know, after a few times trying, and then the blackout, I was like, all right, let's just see this, because I don't know what the fuck else. I mean, heck, am I allowed to curse? I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
I don't know what else I'm gonna do, so let me just like try Paige. And
meanwhile, I'm like trying to 100% find a girlfriend. I am not seeing any of the men in the house at that point. I was like, okay,
right. That's
who wants me? Nobody. Remy's over here like me. I'm like anybody else, literally.
Just have blinders on.
Yeah, what was going on with that? Like, because I feel like, let's just be real here. Like, were people just not giving you that chance, that opportunity? I mean, because you're a beautiful girl, like, and everyone was like hooking up left and right. Do you think it's partly your fault, or do you feel like, sometimes like they just weren't fully giving you a shot?
I mean, I feel like it's both. I look like I'm wearing the pants. I look like I'm the one who's gonna be the dominant, the aggressor, and like pursuing somebody, and that's just not me. So I was having a hard time balancing with the fact that my walls were up, and I honestly didn't know why until the day when I was crying. I had no idea why I was having such a hard time connecting on a deeper level with anybody. It just like was always super shallow, and it was cute, and I was bubbly, and I was happy, but I wasn't doing a good job of showing my true emotions. And I didn't really know why. It wasn't something that I was conscious of. So yeah, I mean, it was equal part my fault, as well as like, I feel like people sensed that, and they were going immediately for the deeper connections that they were making. So I also honestly friend zoned quite a few people in the beginning because I was so like insecure of being turned down that I was like, let me just nip it in the bud. So people who I thought were giving me like friendship looks, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, because you did try to holler at Amber, that we did see, and Amber was really about it at that time. Now, Nor came around and we all said it was just like really messed up how the way she like came at you. Like it was really like, girl, what? So my thing is like after it all kind of went down and you saw that their relationship was like not as like positive as it was, because clearly she made out with Kylie during the party, like did you try to kind of rekindle that again with Amber, or was it just like too much drama for you and you were like, you know what, Nor's crazy, I can't?
I mean, I was never scared of Nor. Like I definitely did try, but I guess I just wasn't dominant enough about it because of my walls.
Got it.
I definitely did try, but my time was also, every time I did try, Nor would kind of like come around the corner, and it was just.
Yeah, the house isn't as big as it looks. Like that's all camera. Like the cameras know where to stand to make the house look as big as possible. Like it really is like two rooms, because one huge room, the bedroom, and then like around the corners are like separate rooms. So it's like literally when you can stand on one angle, you can see 75% of the house from that one place. So it's like there's really no privacy. And then after a certain time, you see, like I learned that, like, because I'm messy, I learned that when you see the cameraman running, that means like something's going on. So I learned to follow the cameraman to see if someone was hiding doing something. So we all kind of like had a way to figure out like if someone was trying to be like private. I was like, what's going on over here?
Right, for sure. I want to. We definitely want to break down the episode, but before we get into that, I want to go back to you, Remy. Obviously, we saw like right at the beginning, you got physical with Kai, but aside from that. Was there any, I mean, obviously, you were feeling Paige as we see towards the end. Was there anyone else that you were feeling? Because it seemed like I was trying to figure out, like, who else that you had your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to, like, I don't know, it's hard because, like, I'm from New York City, I'm born and raised, and it's like my city, like, I've been here my entire life. I've never lived anywhere else. So New York City, I've kind of like built up like a reputation, and my reputation sort of precedes me. So it's like I'm not used to pursuing people, like, you know what I mean? And it's like not even like to be like cocky, but and I feel like everybody in the house kind of like had that where we're not used to pursuing people like that. So it's like we all kind of were like caught off guard, but we're having to like put ourselves out there.
So fix this point.
Yeah. So like I had a thing with Brandon in the beginning. I think Brandon was like my first like little thing, and then they were like, oh, truth booth, bye, cut off.
Yeah.
And like I went to the boom room with two people, but they didn't show the first one. It was just Kai, and then me and Kai just kind of went meh. And like again, I tried, like, and then I had a thing with Jenna, and they didn't really fully show the thing with Jenna. And then after Jenna, just was like obviously really involved in this like toxic thing with Kai.
Right.
I was like, I don't really want to involve myself like that because I don't want to get played for someone who's like, like if you can't see it.
I was always in the back of his mind.
No, for sure. But like I knew in a way. No, even when we went to the truth booth or date, I was like, there's no way she's my match. Like, there's no way. They're not gonna, like, it's just not, again, this person is somebody I'd go for, like, outside of the house 100%.
Yeah.
So few people, and then I just was lost. And I was like, honestly, yo, whatever y'all want, I'll like help whoever. But at this point, I'm just done. I checked out of the game for a while. I was like, yo,
well,
I'm done. Like, I'm gonna help whoever, and then, you know, let me be like the last person you sit people with, so we can like,
I mean, that was
you know, either
Remy.
win or lose.
Yeah, it's a bit like a wingman.
Yeah, I mean, Remy, I need to know how awkward that date was the night after you and Kai hooked up, and then, you know, the trio had to go on that date. I mean, please let us know, like, was it awkward, or like, I mean, tell us.
It wasn't awkward for me because, again, at that point, me and Jenna were like, sort of like, oh, this is like something fun, new, and exciting. Like, again, like it's like heavily edited. So there was a point where like me and Jenna had like a closet moment where it felt like, it, you know, something went down, and like, you know, again, like it showed all of her like off moments with Kai, but none of our like cute moments. And then their date happened. And then rain, and then this whole thing, and then after that, I was like, after that I was like, okay, they're back on. Let me take a step back.
Okay, because we did see you and Jenna make out, you know, and it was kind of to get back at Kai. That's the way we saw it. But you guys actually had a connection at that moment.
No, there was a definite connection, and there was, again, some stuff that just wasn't shown. Gotcha. And we had a really good date too, but that was like, most of my dates weren't shown. The only date that was shown was me and Brandon and Paige and I, and then the other Paige and I date. Every other date of mine got like cut off. I went on, you know, up until this point, I went on 4 dates.
Okay, let's get into the episode. So I want to get, there was a part, and we see that Amber and Basit, they decide to like get their Cleo situation, psychic energy going on, which I thought was hilarious. Hilarious.
Funny. It was good.
And so they talk about perfect matches, and we see that they're kind of asking questions, right, to the different members of the cast.
Yes.
And then we kind of, you know, Paige gets a question, and it seems like she's very hesitant and kind of has her walls up. And then there was a moment that we saw that you were breaking down when you started talking about Remy, and it sounded like, and correct me if I'm wrong since you're here, but like he reminds you of some of your exes or something you had dealt with before. And then we saw Remy break down too, and that's why I was like,
you broke my heart.
But before you get into it, Melody, how did you feel about this situation?
Well, see, because with Remy, I've been up and down. At the beginning, I was like, stay away from him. He's bad news. But then quickly, I'm like, you know what? I love Remy, and I love him for Paige. Yeah. So to see him so upset over Paige, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. This is a match made in heaven. I mean, outside of the house, whatever, be together, because I ship it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, beforehand, I was just like, I know, you know, Paige, when you first had the first episode, you know, you were coming out to the world. So in my head, I'm like, you know, she wants something fresh, you know what I'm saying? And so I was like, you know, I don't think she's really here for Remy, but like this last episode, I'm like, you know what? I really feel like this could be like a fairy tale ending, and it totally just ripped my whole heart out.
Right.
Thanks.
So I can't even lie, it did.
Don't give us like a cliffhanger or truth booth answer. They were just like, no match.
I know they didn't even get the cliffhanger. They were just like, no, y'all ain't getting a match today. Like, done, son. Dead that.
Yes.
So yeah.
Carrie's like, they don't care.
Exactly. Next, let's go.
Nope.
But in that situation, because you both got so emotional, what were your feelings in regards to that? Paige, you can start.
It was actually a really transformative day for me, just like emotionally. I honestly like really caught feelings that day, just on that date, because the night before when I was having my breakdown, it was because, you know, I only knew Remy at a shallow level. I'd never allowed him to display who he really was. I just had this idea of like, oh, fuck boy, hookup king, that's all I've ever known, so I'm not gonna give that a chance. And that's why I was breaking down, because honestly, like that night I had an epiphany of like, I was having a hard time connecting deeply with people because of emotional abuse that I had gone through that I like was not aware of. And the next day when we were on our date, you know, I learned from producers that he was crying. I had no idea that he went through that the night. It was like a game of telephone, and he, I think, was under a like there's miscommunication. He thought I was solely crying based on him being my perfect match, which
because I like, again, they focus on too much on like relationships. So there's a lot of friendships that was built in the house. So Amber, who I was like super close to, just like on a friend level, she was drunk that night. She was like, Remy, do you like Paige? I was like, yeah, I'm really feeling her. Like, we had this thing, and then she's like, well, she's going around the house crying over you, so I just want you to be, you know, protect yourself and blah blah blah. She's crying over you, and I'm just like, oh,
right.
Like, you know, and again, like, nobody gave me context as to necessarily why she's crying. So I just look at like, oh, wow, this person is so ashamed of me possibly being their match that, like, I was like, okay, so I, you know, again, the one time I'm really like putting myself out there, because like, even like, you can ask all my friends back home, I don't cry. Like, I'm not a crier. Like, some of my best friends who I've known for years haven't seen me cry just because I'm not, you know, and it's like people unlearn certain, like, you know, masculine shit that I'm still trying to get over. Right. And it's hard. Like, even in the shower, I like catch myself. It's like, don't cry. And I'm like, what am I doing? So for me to do this on TV, it was like a lot. And I was just like, I feel so dumb. But, you know, it ended up culminating and, you know, into a great, you know, date, and we had like a shower moment in the sun.
It was,
you know.
so great. Yeah. And you know, I just want to give props to Paige. What did you say?
Like the deep emotional part out real quick before I make a fool of myself.
Yeah.
But before we went on our one-on-one, I was told, like, he actually really cares about you. You need to open your eyes and give him a chance. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, he does not talk about anybody the way that he talks about you. You're the only opinion in the house he honestly respects. Like, look into his eyes. Have you ever done that? And I just remember sitting on the blanket with him and, like, really looking into his eyes for the first time. And I was just like, oh, I'm feeling. Yeah, and then I opened up to him. And then from that point on, it was just...
And I definitely give you props. You know, me, I've been in an abusive, like, emotional, like, relationship before, and it really has taken me quite a few, you know, moments for me to even... Yeah. I'm, like, even in a great relationship, and I still have moments of my own weakness, you know? And the fact that you went over that and kind of just have the confidence in yourself, you know, I think so many people can relate to that. And I give you so many props because, you know, it's definitely something I still struggle with, you know, but I just know who you are, you know, and I just want you to know too, it only gets better, you know, and like, you're gonna find someone that you can just let your wall down, and they're gonna be there every moment to, like, with every emotion, they're gonna understand it, and they're gonna, like, help you bring the wall down too. So, you know, I mean, I could totally relate to it, and I know exactly how you were feeling, and I'm just, you know,
look what a golden shower actually is.
To piggyback off of what Sinse was saying, props to Remy as well for knowing how to take care of you in that situation and reassure you, and he never gave up. So we're never.
Because again, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship when I was like 20 to 23. It was like I was in a 3-year like relationship. It was like one of the big long relationships I was in, and it was like really emotionally abusive towards the end. So I did have like this insight as to like how to kind of approach this, and I had this like, you know, okay, like I've been through this, and I understand, because again, I know what I come off as. I know I come off. I have like the cadence and the swagger of like a fuckboy, and I get it because that used to be me, you know what I mean? And like now I still have, because it's like fun to be a little like cocky and arrogant, but I can still, you know, I'm again really self-aware, and but like, you know, again, it just takes time, and people deserve effort, and you know, that's
you show me what I deserve.
That's what you needed, and you know.
And Remy, tell me if I'm wrong, but like I feel like maybe this episode or even this journey for you kind of opened you up to really trying to find like love for yourself. I don't know. I think because when you first entered the show, you're like, yeah, I slept with da-da-da-da, like I'm just doing me, I'm here to be messy, da-da-da-da. And then you really like fell for someone, and I don't know, a part of me feels like you are ready for that now.
No, I mean, it because I didn't know what I was going to expect, because again, in my New York City bubble, in my world, like all of my friends are like up in like, you know, the triple digit club. You know what I mean? We've all slept, you know, I know all my friends are either like, you know, sex workers or this and that, and they're all freaks, you know, like talking about water sports isn't anything crazy to anybody. So I thought I was coming into the house being like, oh, we're all crazy. We're all done this and that. And then, you know, some of the people in the house have only like slept with like I've slept with like 5 girls and 4 boys. And I'm like, this month. Like,
I'm done.
Oh my God.
So, like I'm way like, you know, I'm like, you know, years of advanced as far as like the sexual side goes, and I really had to like kind of like take it back and scale it back and realize, you know, I do live in this New York City bubble of this culture, and like not everybody is like not the level whereas I think I'm more advanced than other people, but I just you know what I mean. But it's not everybody is like me. You know what I mean? There's other people who do things a little bit slower than I do. Yeah. And I needed to like take a step back and really kind of like take into this like, okay, I need to like really just examine it and get to know everybody like more on that deeper level, and not just assume everyone lives the same crazy wild life that I do.
Absolutely.
I love that.
I want to jump back into the episode. Obviously, you know, the challenge happened, IKEA situation. You guys got one of the spots, got to go on this amazing helicopter ride. And
that was all me.
Right.
So good.
That seemed really dope. Got to connect that we saw. I kind of want to jump to when you were voted into the Truth Booth. This is a great episode for you being here, by the way. So you get voted into the Truth Booth, which I, you know, called it. I was like, what? Who else would you put in there?
Who else would they put in there?
It makes sense.
I can't with Justin and his little moment.
I saw that. I was like, Justin, come on, you're being selfish. Stop being selfish. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
So you're voted into the Truth Booth, right? So you go up, and you know, you've seen this happen, right? You've been on the show. It's been several weeks now. You walk up, and we already kind of, put it out there that it was a no match. But I want to get from you your reaction from getting that, because at this point you're at the height of how you're feeling, and then this is a possibility. It sounds like something you both want, and then this happens.
Yeah. So there was like a two like kind of like halves of me. Like in the beginning half, it was like, what everybody in the house knew was like evil Remy. There was like evil Remy in the beginning, where I was just kind of like being messy and being like, I treated the house like it was Bad Girls Club. I was like, well, I think you're like, I was like yelling at people being messy.
Right.
And then like Paige is like, no, I need you to be nice. I was like, okay, well, I'll be nice to you. She's like, no, I need you to be nice to everyone in the house, not just me.
Well,
and I was like, okay, most people in the house. But so I was like, okay, I need to be my most vulnerable self. And I was like, what I'm used to is being like, okay, it's a win-win for me. I'm going to this, like, if we're a perfect match, I can be like, I told you so, I was your perfect match. Or if we're not a match, I can be like, it's still a win, because I'll be like, cool, boom, I'm done with you, I can move on. But the vulnerable me needs to look at it like, no, what I need to do is like almost look at it as like a lose-lose. Like if I lose, if it's not a match, I see this person who I really wanted to be with, and I'm hurt, and I have to move on. And even if it's a match, she hasn't expressed interest in really wanting to go into the honeymoon suite with me. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go into this thinking like, whatever happens, and let's make this about her and her feelings. And because I am where I am, and I need to give her time to catch up to me necessarily. And so I just was like, okay, let me be good Remy, vulnerable Remy, and just kind of like let this be about Paige, and be there, not do it for her, but be there with her on her journey of sort of like self-discovery, and just kind of like give her, just like a little stepladder, and be like, let's do this, I'm here for you.
Well, so when I saw no match, I was honestly feeling a weird mixture, because it was like, I knew it. But that was also when I realized that I cared about him, because I realized that, like, he's probably really upset about this, and like that makes me really sad. And I was like, oh wait, the feels, the heart's doing the tight.
I definitely felt that.
No match is when I realized that I cared.
Oh.
That's when you feel like you care, right there.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how that happens. Like you're kind of just
once you
on
know
the fence,
you care something, you're like, oh,
exactly.
I really wanted that and didn't know.
Right.
I know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine, y'all. I fought hard. So if that would say no match, you know what? I'd probably be one of those people be like, no, bitch.
Like recalibrate. But we do have some questions.
Yes,
some
in the
fans'
live
questions.
chat. Okay, so R09 Climb XB wants to know, if you won the money, what would you do with it? Paige, you want to go first?
I would go on vacation.
Hey.
Okay.
I need that. It's been like a minute. Try to fly my brother out to New York. He's never been, so give him that experience and go on vacation. Oh, and also pay off like whatever loans and stuff that I, be an adult.
Right.
Not very fun. Sorry.
What about you, Remy?
I buy my mom a new couch, first and foremost. And then also go on vacation. Not that I don't go on vacation enough. Like I get
He
flown
goes on
out
vacation boots.
everywhere. I went to my friend flew me out to Berlin like last month.
Not the answer to the question.
I'm getting flown out to like LA next
Not what
month.
they're asking.
But I want to go somewhere where I spend my own money for once. So
He said I spent my own money.
I love it. I love it.
And real quick, Paige, are you a triplet?
I am.
You are a triplet.
What the fuck?
That's crazy. So when you talked about, just real quick, you talked about flying your brother out. So you don't live with your other siblings?
No. My siblings are in the South. My twin sister's going to school in Oklahoma. My twin brother's going to school in Dallas.
Oh, shout out to your brother and sister.
My older sister in Dallas. Everybody.
Gotcha. That's crazy.
Hot girl from the South.
Yay.
Okay. Well, Laura F wants to know, Remy, did you ever think you'd become the mediator in the house, especially between the Kai and Jenna drama?
Okay, well, I absolutely knew I'd be the mediator between the Kai and the Jenna thing because there was a point where I was the only one in the house that was like being like, you need to get the fuck away from each other. Like, y'all need to split up. Like, this is toxic. This is like, y'all are ugly together. None of this is good. Especially you only know each other for how long? And you're already acting like this. There's no recovering from that. So, and again, like, it's a heavily edited show. There was like points where Jenna was like, can you please get in between us?
Right.
And especially like watching it back now, the night I intervened, Kai told me something completely different from what I came in, and like,
yeah, I remember
it
that.
just wasn't, I was like, wow, I knew you were lying. I knew you were lying. So when it came to that, no, but when it came to everything else, I don't think anybody in the house knew I'd be a mediator or like some sort of voice of reason. Because again, I treated the first half of the show like it was Bad Girls Club.
He did.
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, you definitely was like the no match police. Like you was like, Jenna and Kai, I see y'all talking. Like the Justin and Max situation, even when they were like fighting, going back together, so the whole house was kind of, doing that whole thing. But switching gears to kind of, taking control of like who stepped up about the strategy, Laura also wanted to know, was it Danny or Carrie who really, stepped up and take control?
It was
equal.
Danny.
Danny did the math. Carrie was more like this.
Like, get it together?
Yeah.
The spark.
Danny was the mouth, Carrie was the mouth.
Okay, I loved it. I love it. Okay, well, dope.
That's dope. We're gonna kind of do because we're having so much fun with you. Yeah. We're actually gonna go out of order, and we're gonna do our news and gossip segment now while you're online. Okay. So if we can do the news and gossip segment, I don't know if we can still do the music while you're on. Oh yeah, we can.
Oh.
Boom! Shout out to our engineer who was so amazing. She's the best ever. Yes.
Okay. No, I'm gonna let you take it away because our fans are going nuts.
This is really messy this week, and we wanted to do it while they were on because a lot of it does involve them.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with this. A couple of days ago, there was a picture or a video posted of Paige and Noor actually hugging. Did you guys check that out on the team pages? So,
a lot of the fans are saying it was a little uncomfortable to see.
Yeah.
And so what happened was we were at the viewing party. We've all had a drink, and Remy was like in the mic in front of everybody, like, I think they should hug.
I was being an asshole.
And I literally was like,
no.
I was like, they didn't know. I was like, you know what you should do?
I literally looked at him and I was like,
Okay, and
okay, well, on top of that,
while we're on Twitter, we see Noor and Remy seem to go back and forth an awful lot. You guys can check them out on Twitter. It's there for everyone to see.
Wait, who goes back and forth?
Remy is always he's really like backing his woman, like bitch, fall back. So I'm kind of here for it. But
no, what it is? Okay, I just call bullshit out when I see it. Again, like I would have never said anything if Noor was like, I didn't have time to like. We had nothing but time.
She got on last week and lied to y'all.
That's okay.
So basically, that's what you're saying. Because last week, she said she had no time. I mean, I did make the reference, and I will admit to it when I say things. I said, it did seem like Noor was out there trying to make a lot of connections, and Paige wasn't. So I was like, it did look like you didn't have enough time. But you're saying she lied and that it was clear that she did have enough time to bully you throughout the house. Is that what you're saying?
She said that was false.
It's actually like a really unfortunate situation, and I'm sure everybody's as sick of hearing about it as I am like talking about it. So I'll try to keep it like short and sweet. But that is what happened every single day, and for her to lie about it is like really unfortunate because flashback to week 4 when it all began and that episode aired. She unfortunately did not personally reach out to me once, which was disappointing because I don't understand how you could like watch yourself talk to somebody like that and not say anything. She has not personally reached out to me once since before that. So my thing is like, you have not apologized to me. You have not had the decency to personally reach out to me, let alone at least lie publicly and try to act like you're apologizing. And that being said, I honestly don't think she's sorry for what she did. I think she's sorry for how she looks. Because there's a lot that you guys are not seeing. You know, like I unfortunately was treated like that every single day. And I got to a point where I would do nothing. And I would be told stupid ass, ugly ass, ostrich ass bitch. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be petty and have fun with it, which obviously like I'm in the wrong for, and I did apologize for that multiple times. But like she did, like, you know, like there was this, I mean, yeah, there was one night where I was like being petty and dancing really close to her, and it was actually really funny, and I was like, no, like dancing, shaking my ass, and she was like, don't touch me, and I didn't, but Kai got in between, and she thought it was me and tried to beat the shit out of me, but like it was Kai, and so like that violent advance is directed towards me, so yeah, I don't think she's sorry for what she did. I think she's sorry for how she looks. If she was sorry, she would have apologized as soon as she watched the episode before it aired.
Okay. So was that the same night as the underwater party? Because
no, that was back week.
Dang. The Hellboat was a little bit before.
Oh, that was like in between.
Okay. Yeah, because we saw her, you know, really coming at you. But to add to that, tea.
Some more tea. So apparently Nor went on live and said that Paige has been trying to talk to some of the crew.
Everybody did that.
What's your response to that?
We all had nicknames. We all had nicknames for some of the crew, like, you know, we all thought, like, there was, like, Amber was, like, you know, still has the biggest crush on one of the PAs that we had. Like, you know, all were...
They were hot. Like,
She said they were hot.
Yeah, like, so what? Like, they're bullying me? Cool.
I love it. Well, you know, and I just love that you just fucking embraced it. Because at the end of the fucking day, you know, at the party, you was ready for Jasmine to pounce on that ass, okay? And you was like, in your confessional, and you was like, ostrich out. Okay.
But the best line has been, Jasmine, slap that hoe. So
slap that hoe, right?
I said,
get it on a shirt.
Hit that hoe. She was my best friend in the house, and the editing is like, they made it look like I jumped into the fight, but she honestly, like, do you remember? And when we were talking by the drinks, someone carried her by me and she smacked me on the back of the head. Like, it's you, no, because you were, I was like, oh my God, yeah. It wasn't like a hard smack, but like we were kind of like bickering all night. So, and I was also like, Jasmine's my best friend. If you're gonna talk to anybody in the house like that, it's gonna be me. Like, relax.
Right.
Dang, well, that was some.
Wow. Well, man. So right before we let you go, first of all, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so sad.
I know, right? I wish it was a perfect match.
I want to end on a positive note.
Yes, positive notes. If you guys are ever in LA, please hit us up. Let's all like grab drinks.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, I love positivity. This has been really cute, and I feel good getting that off my chest.
Absolutely.
Like,
you needed to have your side of the whole situation.
A lot of the cast has backed me up on social media too. Like, Remy honestly calls anybody out their bullshit, including me. If I was lying, he would have been exposed to me already.
Okay.
So, just one last question. You guys are obviously together on Skype. You guys are really good friends. What's going on? Can you talk to us about your status?
I mean,
we're no match.
You're a nomad, ready?
Nomad Paige.
No. That's how you're going to give it. Okay. Boom.
Okay.
There it is.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for Raige.
Yes.
Thank you so much for breaking it all down.
Yes, and I wish nothing but the best for both of you.
Absolutely.
Likewise, we're gonna grab drinks when we're in LA.
Yes, we're doing it.
When you come to LA, make sure you holler at us. Like I said, I was saying before we started taping, I was like, they're gonna come when we're already done with the show. But maybe we do a little special segment or something.
Because literally, I thought you guys were gonna be here tonight, and I got so sad. I was like, I thought they were gonna be in
Sinse was so depressed.
I was really sad.
She's like, where are our guests at? I was like, oh, they're joining us via Skype. She's like, what? She's like, what? Yeah, she was super sad. But yeah, shout out to our guests. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Definitely. Long live Raige. There it is.
Long live Raige. This is for you,
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. We out.
Bye. Aw.
All right.
I love them so much.
Yes.
That was too good.
I really wish they would have came in the studio. Like, they were the ones I was most
you know what
excited
though?
for.
I felt like they were in studio tonight.
You felt? Well, we kept them on for 40 minutes.
And the fans are here for it. Like, they loved it. Raige forever. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Sky. Shout out to Jam Love 954. Shout out to R09 Climb XB. I hate that name, but happy birthday! It's his birthday now. I'm always stuttering over the name, but it's all good. Laura says AfterBuzz equals therapy for the cast. I feel it because I feel like I'm sometimes in therapy too.
They said that, really?
Yeah. Yes, I love that. I love that.
Even Paige said, she's like, I really, like to get this off my chest.
Yes.
So I think that's dope. We're just a therapy session. Yeah. That's what we do. Real quick, let's touch on a couple more things regarding the episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we did talk about, when it got time, when, from the no match situation, Carrie blew up. She's like, this needs to stop. We need to do better. Like, I'm tired of this, And she just went off.
Yes.
And so then they started strategizing, which I think was a wake-up call.
We got a lot of surprises.
Hold on, am I the only one that's completely lost when they're doing that? I'm like, wait, how are they in match? How are they in match?
I was definitely lost.
I don't know what they're doing.
So
but I was like, okay.
What they're doing, well, the good thing, I will say this, when watching that, the good thing about this particular, I guess, is good in the sense of finding what are no matches, because there have been so many, there hasn't been that many perfect matches. Like, they haven't got that many beams. Like, what's the max that they've gotten all season? 3.
Literally.
So when you only have 3 beams, it's easy to figure out who are the matches, because all you're doing is process elimination. It's like, all right, you sat together here, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, you have to be a match.
Like, even though they were like, oh, you guys are a perfect match, and then people were tweeting me too, like, oh, so-and-so is a perfect match, and I was like, they didn't confirm nothing, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
It's not confirmed till I see it confirmed on the screen. Sorry.
Exactly.
Well, you saw how they did with Jonathan and Basit.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, you're a perfect match, which we already know to be true.
Because it was on the screen. That's how I know.
But they used the tactic. They used the tactic of the eliminate, like I said, because there's been so few perfect matches, so few beams that they've gotten. They said, okay, when did you sit together? Okay, boom. Because they know who are not matches through Truth Proof. They know, you know what I'm saying? They had a blackout.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of things that's able to get them to that point.
Okay.
I think the most interesting part is the fact of Jasmine and Noah being a perfect match.
I freaking said
you guys, last week I was like, I will be so shocked.
Who said that?
Me.
I said, why don't you two just ditch Kai and get together?
Yeah,
I know somebody said it.
I was like, ooh, that would be some major tea, but they took it very well.
Yes.
Very well. They were like,
and I'm here for them too. Like, they were like good together.
Kai
I love that.
Even Kai was for it. Like, he was like, all right, well,
he ain't got no choice.
Exactly.
That's like instant karma. Like, you've been playing everybody, and now look.
Exactly.
Get out.
I thought it was interesting though that they were beefing, and then all of a sudden they're feel their perfect match, and so they're like, oh, well, I see it, and I like you, and here we go.
Yeah.
So we get to the matchup, and so we still don't. This is the one thing that got on my nerves, because the way they show it is we feel like we're going to get a Jax prediction, right? We're going to get a Jax revelation.
I don't know.
And we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Like, all we know is that they could possibly... We don't know anything.
All I know...
We don't know anything yet.
All I know is if they done drag me to the next episode in 2 weeks to find out they ain't a perfect match, they got me all the way twisted. Like, straight up, literally, if they're not a no match MTV...
They're dragging this out.
Yeah.
They're definitely dragging this out.
And then I called them and I was like, oh, tonight we find out if Jax is a match. And then they freaking played us. So I was just like, whatever. If
I was ready. I was like, I thought we were going to find out.
They have to be.
But if they're not, my DMs are open for everybody who was coming at me. I'm accepting your apologies.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they were coming for you.
They were
coming for you.
And you know what? Melody loves everyone. So don't come for her. Like, literally, just because she might not think they're a match does not mean she don't like them together.
Right.
Okay?
Facts.
So don't come for my girl.
Well,
all right? Because clearly she's the winner at Twitter. Okay?
So we do know, we saw those beams, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say, we obviously know about Jonathan Basit.
Right.
I think it's also safe to say Jasmine and Noor are a match. So I think it's really just now a situation where we find out, like, if Jax is a match, then it's literally everyone else just kind of following suit.
And the crazy part is like, you know, we're getting this episode like Kai and Danny talking, excuse me, like how they could be a perfect match, you know, but then it goes to Jax.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, Max is freaking out. Like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Max is that's Max
he
though.
does it his birthday again. I can't help it. It's just,
that's Max though. He's very like
happening.
Oh my gosh, like you could see how you know, we see Justin is more or less, he wants to kind of explore. Max is like no.
Right.
It
Which
needs
is
to be
why
very,
it's just not compatible.
Exactly. That's why you feel like they're a match.
absolutely. I feel like for them to work, Justin would have to kind of change.
What do you think?
Well,
after seeing the episodes.
I'm gonna say it like this, because of this last, I really didn't know which way to go, but seeing this last episode, this tells me that I need to agree with my girl Melody and that they're not a match. Because, and the reason why I say that is because of how Max is with him.
Yeah.
Right? And then also because they're dragging it out so far. They wouldn't be dragging it out so far if they were a perfect match.
Right.
They're dragging it out so far for them not to be a match.
Yeah.
But listen, and also the fact that only Danny at this point could take Kai.
Poor Danny.
Only Danny at this point could handle Kai at this point in Kai's life.
Right.
So if Danny ain't Kai's match, then we're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
people,
I believe that they're a match.
That's all I'm saying.
And
because at this point, I just feel like that's just what it is.
Yeah, I believe that they're a match. I do want to get into the minute with Uncle Lim. Because it is about that time.
Okay.
If our engineer can cue my music. Yes, because I do have one for today. You know, award-winning segment that I like to do. And yeah, it's about to go down. So, yes, there it is. There it is. So, the lucky winner today.
Of the chicken zinner.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
It's Popeye's chicken sandwich. I had it today. I had it today. I'll give you an update in a second.
Okay.
But right now, we're going to talk about Miss Carrie. Miss Carrie, who probably had the least airtime out of anyone in the house. You are the real MVP. The way that you freaked out and had a serious meltdown because Paige and Remy weren't a match. I thought that you were going to start turning green and breaking out of your clothes because no matches turn you to the Credible Hulk. Your outburst was like a caramel macchiato because it woke everybody up.
Those are good.
People got in line like soldiers and 2 perfect matches stepped out of the ranks. I salute you. The house owes you a debt of gratitude and their PIN number because without you, them debit cards would be insufficient. And that's all I have to say. Boom. Yes.
That was good.
Yes.
That was good from the poet.
Yes. So,
So about them chicken sandwich.
Yo, so real quick.
I just need to know because I didn't have it yet.
I know.
I didn't have it yet. I didn't have the chicken sandwich.
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna put it like this. Right.
Okay.
The memes that you're seeing about between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes are all true. Popeyes chicken sandwich, and I'm gonna tell you like this.
Okay.
there was so many people. There was so many that they had to make.
I'm so mad you was there with all the people.
The line was so long, but I was determined.
I had no time.
I was determined. So when I got the chicken sandwich, it did not have the spicy mayo, all of it. It had like a sprinkle, and it didn't have the pickles. But that bun, let me tell you, that bun. Have you ever had those Hawaiian rolls?
Yes, I have.
That's what it's made out of.
What?
Yes.
The whole bun.
The whole bun.
Oh shit.
And then the chicken. Let me tell you, you got to get the spicy one. The spicy chicken breast. Let me tell you something. That thing was so juicy. I'm a thigh bro.
Right? Wait, so are you saying that Popeyes is better than Chick-fil-A?
Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're saying?
Does it live up to the hype?
I'm going to put it like this. I love Chick-fil-A. But the only way that Chick-fil-A bangs is if you put the Chick-fil-A sauce on the chicken sandwich.
That's facts.
Right? The Popeyes chicken sandwich doesn't need any sauce.
Holy moly.
Oh, shit! It don't need no sauce!
It don't need no sauce.
It don't need no sauce!
It don't need no sauce.
It don't need no sauce. You know I like my shit saucy. It don't need no sauce.
It don't need no sauce. Yes. So that's how I'm going to put it.
I mean,
that's how I'm going to put it.
We're supposed to be
sorry, Sky. I don't rip your ears out.
Exactly.
But if a sandwich don't need sauce, that means it's winning. I'm sorry, Sky. I can't.
Is it the rage of sandwiches?
I'm getting it this weekend. I can't even.
You gotta try it. I mean, and they're selling out. Like, people are going and they're like selling out at chicken sandwich. It's crazy. But yeah, the hype, it lives up to it.
I'm done. It don't need no sauce, y'all. It don't need no sauce.
All right, let's get into predictions. Let's do that.
I just hurt everyone's ears. I do it every week. You guys, I'm just letting you know. Chick-fil-A.
Our engineer is the best.
Fuck Chick-fil-A. Popeyes, what's good?
Oh, man.
You
all right.
You should go to Popeyes, bitch.
Right. Okay. Melody, what you got?
I'm so done. I need more.
We only have like 2 episodes left. Did you know that?
That's
you guys,
it. Yes, I did.
Crazy.
We do have a break next week for the VMAs, and then there's 2 more episodes.
Fun fact, I was like the least excited when the season started. I know I told you guys, I was like, the season's whatever. This has been my favorite season.
Really?
Favorite season, same.
You too?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's just so many likable characters. Like, I love so many people. So
many people and so many, it's just so much energy.
This is the one where I'm like really excited to meet some of them, and they're not even coming in because they're all East Coast.
And I don't want it
we still
to
have
end.
one more in the studio.
I know. I don't want it to end.
But yeah.
We have someone next week.
Well, Danny's
gonna be in studio next week.
Gonna join us,
I'm excited.
Well, not next week, but the week after.
Yeah. Right, because next week we ain't gonna be here.
But as far as predictions go, I'm gonna predict that do they win the money or do they not win the money?
I hope they win the money.
I hope they do, but
I mean, they got like this next.
I'm gonna say they. I'm gonna say they don't.
You saying they don't?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna just be the positive one.
Okay. That's fine. I hope I'm wrong.
Okay.
I really do.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's what we're talking about, giving predictions, I'm going to err on the side. I was going to say initially, up until this episode, I was like, there's no way they're getting this money.
Okay.
Because, remember I gave you that prediction, prediction, but facts about the possibilities.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is like, even though it's 8, or 8 couples, I was like, there's still no way. But seeing how this episode played out, and how they basically figured out who Perfect Matches was, and it was correct with the people that sat together, I think they can pull it out. They have 2 more weeks. If there was only 1 week left, I'd be like, I don't think they can do it. But we've covered this show, right? For 7 seasons, since season 2. And we've seen some Hail Marys happen, and people get it. Most of the people that have won have got it on the last episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be able to pull it out.
I hope so.
They're going to be able to pull it out. So, we will see. But yeah, only 2 more episodes left.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm sad. This honestly, this season and covering it was just by far the funnest. I've learned so much.
Right.
I've like grown to just love all of them so much, and like I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Well, it'll end in 2 weeks, but it's all good. It's all good.
Right,
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to our guests, Raige for joining us, Remy and Paige. They were so dope. Shout out to them. I've been your host, Lim Gonzalez, and again, You can find me everywhere at Lim Gonzalez. I need more followers, so holla at your boy. Also, remember, next week there's a bye because the VMAs are happening and they're not showing the episode, so we will see you back in 2 weeks, and that's how it's going to go down. Sensei, where you at?
You guys know where to follow me at Sensei Don't Play. I love all the love that, I'm receiving, and then also just all my, spill tea gossip folks. Okay, all reality tea, X on the challenge. I love you guys so much. Y'all are just my little people.
Yes.
So. Oh, and AYTOT, okay?
Yeah, AYTOT be holding it down.
AYTOT be getting the tea, okay? Love.
And you guys can check me out everywhere at Melody_Rose. And make sure you guys tune in to our show in an hour. We got, you already know what we got coming.
Yeah. Kenya is coming in the studio. It's about to be crazy. So, mate, get your life. But, yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.